to my channel. I am starting a new segment, which I'm going to refer to as Side Note. Like on a side note, this is this and that is that. So, on this first episode, I'm going to read through some text messages between me and my siblings and my two older nephews and niece. I started it because I'm that way. I sent out a TikTok to them and it went something, this is what it is.
Won't you can get it, my dear, $5 million home drop business, I swear. Yeah, I want your body, need your body.
So earlier I had predicted that Biden would win in a landslide, but he clearly didn't. So what I said is, maybe not by a landslide, but the prophet T.I. prophesied, right?
Need your body, need your body.
So this started, I sent this out on November 5th, which 2 days after the election. This is Zach. It amazes me they won't call any of these states leaning red until they magically find votes and Biden leads. That is legit what's happening. Funny how all the swing states that went blue got all their votes in, but any state for Trump, nope, still waiting results. This wouldn't have mattered to me if Biden won legitimately, but the fact that they are committing voter fraud and this election has been completely one-sided has me dumbfounded. This election will end up going to court. You cannot sit here and tell me this election hasn't been suspicious as hell. My brother Kyle, haha yes, Stacy and I were wondering the same thing last night. Guys, family, Trump has been claiming fraud ever since he set foot on the political stage. He claimed fraud when Romney lost to Obama. He claimed fraud when he lost to Ted Cruz in some caucus. The jerk claims fraud all the time, and he's been talking about it since he... And my family, bless their hearts, they're so conservative. They're so Christian. I thought at least my nephew Zach wasn't so. At least he says he's agnostic when it comes to the God belief. But he's just as much Hoosier as the rest of them. Then my sister Suzanne chimes in. Yeah, it's total crap. They are corrupt propaganda media owned by pedophile Disney and corrupt power money hungry government. Shoot. I can't believe that many people voted for Biden after everything that came out about him and how he acts around children. I also don't understand why people want more government control. Don't they want to have a say in where their money goes rather than hand it over to big government? We want freedom. I don't know. I mean, yes, sure, Biden isn't innocent, but he's not a pedophile. He's a toucher. He likes to touch. I'm a face toucher. I like to go touch faces. I don't know why. Some people don't like me touching their face, and they tell me, so I stop. I'm a cheek pincher. The nanny kids. Every kid I ever nanny, just pinch those chubby cheeks. There's nothing perverse about it. My brother Vince, the ultimate conspiracy theorist, chimes in, which he chimes in quite a bit. Biden could never win legitimately. No one would vote for him if it wasn't for a corrupt media that painted flowers around him and made him smell like a rose. You just have to check his record and what his family's been involved in over the years. Oh, and it's not just him. Many others. It is insane. Zach comes back in. If you haven't already, I think you should watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. Might open your eyes a bit and make you realize everything you see on social media isn't always true. Is that right, Zach? How profound. But no, duh. And then my niece, Lauren. This election has set records for voter turnout, and not to mention mail-in voting. Obviously, they're not going to count mail-in votes as quickly as in person. Older generations vote in person for Trump. Younger generations vote convenient by mail for Biden. I hate them both, and I'm not biased. That's just how I'm seeing it. I don't think Lauren voted, because I asked her if she was. She said she wasn't, because she doesn't like either of them. That's fine. I guess. I agree with you, Lauren, but how to explain the 138,000 voter ballots that they magically found overnight in Michigan that all had the Biden vote in the entire one-sided election? Zach, I don't think that's what happened. I feel like Michigan counts mail-in votes later because that's the rules in that state, and I highly doubt they were all for Biden. And if they were, okay, Trump spent the whole summer telling you not to trust the mail. He spent the summer trying to delegitimate the postal service. So obviously it's all going to be Biden votes that come through mail. I feel like if they were going to cheat, they wouldn't have made it that obvious. Clever, clever Democrats, right? Then my sister Suzanne sent something from Laura Hardesty, who I don't respect her opinions. Anyways, her page was private and I couldn't see it. So Suzanne summarized it. Plus I'm not on Instagram. She says, "We are only divided because of the one-sided media. They are so obvious." I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. To be honest, for the last months, Trump has been acting like no matter what, this election was going to be rigged. So no matter how he lost, he was going to find a way to call it cheating. Then my brother Kyle sent an image. "Suzanne, you should go watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix." Then my sister Sarah sent in an image, some kind of graph. I'm not sure what this is supposed to represent. I guess a sudden climb in Biden and then it levels off. Unfortunately, can't make this stuff up. I think you can just go and draw it. And then it's made up. I stopped watching Netflix when they started to sexualize young girls. Can I find it somewhere else? Suzanne got on the Wayfair cabinet pedophilia bandwagon. I don't know. Yes, sure there's sexual trafficking and pedophilia crap going on, but let's let the FBI agents, the special agents that deal with that, get in there and solve those problems. Posting on Facebook about it is not helping at all, except, I mean, if it was real, if they were using Wayfair cabinets and some kind of code, then you finding out about it, splashing it all over social media, disrupts whatever the agents might be onto and clues in the creeps on what's going on, and they found us out, we better change our tactics. I don't know. This is just kind of ridiculous. Alright. I'm not sure if they have it somewhere else or not. Maybe check YouTube. My brother Chris, he sent some things, and I didn't check them out because the one was about how TikTok is bad for children, which, okay, yes, social media. Children until a certain age probably shouldn't do social media because the brains aren't developed. Don't blame Netflix, blame social media. If it weren't for social media, the younger generation wouldn't have access to stuff like that. Chris knows. Thanks, Chris. My cousin Hans. Oh yeah, I included my cousin Hans. He came in, and this is what he says. "Sometimes when we think we're right, we can feel it in our bones. We know it just has to be so, and yet we are dead wrong. Feeling something doesn't make it more or less true. It only makes it easy for us to get blindsided by bias. This is called magical thinking." Now's a good time to ask, are we updating our beliefs when evidence contradicts them, or are we doing the opposite? Only searching out and accepting evidence which matches our bias and our beliefs. One of those will help us become more correct over time. The other will make us feel special, but be wrong. My brother Ryan, I'm always right. She's joking. Sarcasm, guys. So is Daddy Trump. More sarcasm than Jake, my other nephew. Hans, I've always loved your wisdom. And then Sarah comes in, my sister Sarah. Then we all get to go to heaven and realize we're both wrong. Magical feeling gone. I think she might be against universalism. She doesn't want everyone in heaven. I don't know what she meant by that. And then my brother Vince. You only get to heaven if you're right with the one who is always right. The catch is most would say that's wrong. My brother Vince is he's a Calvinist. So he thinks he knows everything and he's on God's list. Then my sister Rebecca comes onto the scene. I have felt so right before that I didn't realize I was dead wrong. I was willing to persecute this person and destroy our relationship because I knew what I knew and searched out evidence to support my biased belief, not realizing I was dead wrong in my crazed mind of proving myself right. It's what the Pharisees did to Jesus when they crucified him. They could have cared less that the truth was standing right in front of them, Jesus. Because of their blindness to the truth and hunger to be right, they killed him. Rebecca, no, it was all part of the plan. He had to be a sacrifice. It worked out, right, Christian? Then my brother Kyle puts this picture in. Good job, Kyle. Good job. Nice input. I found an article like this a while ago, very thought-provoking. Pilate's question, what is truth? It's very Christian. I mean, truth, I'll tell you what truth is. Truth is an adjective. It describes a set of it describes information or reality. I don't know. It's not a noun. Jesus is not the truth. Oh, and just to lighten things up, I threw in a TikTok.
I don't know what you had in mind, but here we stand on opposing sides. Let's go to war. Let's go to war.
Sorry. I'm just tired of being a part of a major historical fucking event.
Sorry, no offense, but I get a kick out of TikToks. Maybe try it. Thumbs up. Then my niece Lauren, she's what, 21 or 22. Definitely not a conservative Christian. Probably just because of her age, leans a little left. She shared a tweet. It's wild Trump supporters believe there's voter fraud with zero evidence, but couldn't believe he sexually assaulted any women with 26 allegations. Boom. Zach sends this meme. That's some good math. Then I chime in. Zach, remember all the states that went red right off the bat and those that went blue right away? It's a close race in certain states. No fraud. Zach comes in with some Instagram about some voter fraud, and he's like, so legit, bro. You guys. Then my brother Ryan adds his 2 cents. This is his dog, Whisper, taking a dump. Some states have rules about counting mail-in ballots. They can only start counting them after the in-person vote date. And Whisper needs to take it down to a dull roar, aka silent killer. Rachel. Yeah, Florida has rules also, but they somehow counted the votes in a timely manner. Yes, I don't know what, but it was so close, guys. Don't you remember how Florida was leaning blue, 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 blue? Then, I think I mentioned that. Still trying to figure out how Biden caught up in Pennsylvania from Trump's 700,000 lead. LOL. So I ask, what are those rules? So does Ohio. Ohio lets them count before in-person votes. Pennsylvania isn't used to having mail-in voting, so they're a different ballgame. Florida was close until the panhandle vote came in and it went red. What's the problem? Yeah, guys, you don't pay attention. I have nothing else to do but pay attention to the stupid news and tune in to election night and hope Biden was winning by a landslide, but he didn't. And then I saw Florida go red. I was like, crap. And Texas went red, and it's just... Zach, we'll see how everything plays out when it's all over. Ryan, the problem is waiting to count the mail-in votes until after the election day. This is what I say, maybe tell that to the states with those dumb rules. Guys, you never had a problem with it in the past. It's only because we've been so divided by DJT romp that you all of a sudden care. Because he's such, I can't stand Donald Trump. I cannot wait till I never have to hear him again. Hear his, oh, it just infuriates me. Whatever. Zach sends this. Wait, from Eric Trump, the smart one of the Trumps. Wait until you see what we are uncovering. Oh. President Trump alleging massive election fraud. So here we go. The vote will be legally challenged all the way up to the Supreme Court. Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Nevada are flashpoints. I don't think so. What are we? Almost 2 weeks off after the election. Biden has been declared president-elect. Trump is still bitching and moaning. So I share another TikTok because I like the TikToks about how presidents concede gracefully.
Here's the way we say it, the country should say it, that the people have spoken, and we respect the majesty of the democratic system. I just called Governor Clinton over Little Rock and offered my congratulations. He did run a strong campaign. I wish him well in the White House, and I want the country to know that our entire administration will work closely with his team to ensure the smooth transition of power. There is important work to be done, and America must always come first, so we will get behind this new president and wish him...
And I say, I hope we can look forward to an Eric Trump presidency, just like we had with George W. Guys, did I mention I'm hilarious? Are you laughing? Why aren't you laughing? Okay, then Chris shares this. You probably aren't able to follow all my siblings' names, but whatever. My brother Kyle, which is Zach's dad, says, wow, Zach, I swiped left for the other 10 videos of vote fraud activity. Biden people will embrace their illegal win with pride. It wasn't illegal. It's fine. And Lauren, my niece, shares this, which shows how the math is mathing, actually. Mostly black women. Black women won the vote for us, for the Democrats. Listening to like-minded people and videos from randos on social media which tell you what you want to hear and make you feel special for having a secret power to see the invisible truth isn't how science is conducted. If that approach isn't how scientists do their job, or even how people learn in school, how does it somehow work for politics? Thank you, Hans. Do you guys realize that if Biden does win, America will have its first female vice president and maybe the first female POTUS because Biden is super old? That's kind of monumental. I agree, Rach. A female vice president or POTUS wouldn't be a bad thing, but not her. Everything I hear on my very selective, like-minded only social media platforms where I get all my information says she's worthless. He's funny. Ryan's funny. Joe Biden has dementia. Let's vote for him. Then me. Oh, and she'd be the first VP of color, too. You all will be fine. Keep on ushering in that apocalypse. They're also worried about the apocalypse and what Jesus wants and the deep state and all that crap. And then Suzanne sends this out from Facebook. Stacy Migrant, a voice of authority, I'm sure. She lives in rural Indiana, knows a lot. I'm just going to leave this right here. All of you who voted for Biden better own it for the next 4 years if he wins. It's looking like he may. I don't want to hear you complain about your taxes going up or gas prices doubling. I don't want you to complain when your health insurance costs goes up even further than they already are. I don't even have health insurance, thank you very much. Don't complain when you bring home less on your paycheck because you're being penalized for climate justice. Don't complain when you lose your job because 11 million illegal immigrants suddenly become legal and your employer decides to hire someone at a lower wage. Hey, jackass! When they become legal, they get to pay taxes. They start paying income taxes. Oh! And don't complain when your job is just outright eliminated because the minimum wage is too high and your employer can no longer afford to stay open or even pay you. Don't complain when your automotive job is eliminated because it's shipped back to China. The jobs didn't come back. The automobile jobs? No, they're going to Mexico. What? I mean, China makes Hondas and, oh, you're so... And plus, if employers don't have to worry about covering health insurance, they can afford a higher minimum wage. Guys, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers. But I kind of like to talk like I do, like Stacey Migrant. Don't complain when interest rates double, maybe triple, and automobiles aren't as affordable as they used to be. Don't complain when your stocks and 401k take a hit. Stacey, how are your stocks? Don't complain when we are locked into more endless wars in the Middle East. Don't complain when your otherwise safe communities are overrun by crime and start resembling Chicago. Don't complain when the educational system goes down and they start teaching evolution and stop teaching about creationism and Jesus and a young earth. And astrology. You obviously didn't vote your paycheck or your future. No, I didn't. I voted for the rights of other people. Ugh. And for your right to be wrong. And hopefully be corrected. You voted your feelings. Unfortunately, facts don't care about your feelings. And you will soon, sadly, learn this under a Biden-Harris administration. Just own it. Copied and pasted from your friends. Every last word of this is true. I haven't been on Facebook in forever because it's a sweltering heap of shit. Just kidding. No, it's just filled with a bunch of people whose opinions I don't agree with, and their opinions are not based on facts. Some of my opinions probably aren't based on facts, but at least I can try and back them up, not just spew, regurgitate things that I've heard, although I kind of do that. But at least I can admit it. My MSNBC source says she would be great as a POTUS. I think he's talking about Kamala. Just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside when I think how informed I am with the facts. So much better than the big, bad, mean Trump. You know, he said ass once. That's not the only thing the creep had said. Oh, you guys. Suzanne. Also, don't complain that the progress done to stop human trafficking is going to be thwarted. I think this is the thing that makes me the angriest. The media never covered what Trump did to end human trafficking. Well, what the frick did he do? Suze, can you tell us? What did he do? As far as I know, he participated on Epstein's plane. Some girl accuses him of rape. And then I come up with this, because I saw it on TikTok, but I don't know if it's true. I said, did you guys hear Putin is resigning because he may have Parkinson's? He also made it a law that former leaders couldn't be prosecuted. Maybe Trump will try to follow suit before January. I don't know if that was true. So yes, I am guilty of believing things before checking them out. Putin is the richest man in the world because of communism. I don't think so. Rose. My sister Rose. Oh, this is the first we're hearing from her. Women should not be leaders of an entire country. Just my opinion. I would never want a woman for a president. Rose. Oh, Rose, you don't even know. And then Suze sent another stupid Instagram about people counting dead votes. So here I am, back on the scene. This dead people thing has got to be put to rest. Dead people are still on the register, but they aren't voting. It takes time to get them removed, and maybe 1 or 2 dogs ended up on the register as a joke, but they aren't voting either. In 2016, Trump lost the popular vote, but still won the presidency. Now Biden is winning both the popular and the electoral college, and you all cry fraud! Mostly because Trump's been whining about it since 2017. Remember in 2000 when Gore won the popular vote? vote but lost the Electoral College. Hanging Chads. Man, I can't talk to save my life. Hanging Chads. Bush still won. It's difficult to unseat an incumbent president, but it's possible. Clinton did it in '92, but not since. Trump is disliked just enough, and blacks turned out to vote. People who've never voted before turned out to vote. How do you know they aren't voting? Sorry, these are my siblings. I shouldn't make their voices sound like that. It's just because, and there's other things that come to light that some people may have voted, but then they died. There was one old lady who voted. They said she was dead, and she's like, oh, here I am. I'm still alive. Maybe they're resurrecting. Maybe these dead people are coming out from the graves, like in Acts, like the 500 that came out, and maybe that's what's going on, guys. Ever thought about that? Maybe God really wants Biden to win, so he's bringing up the dead, letting them vote. And plus, there are people, more than 2 people can have the same name. It's just so frustrating.